Okay, this is the dumbest video I've ever made. Lazy characters. Sometimes we all get lazy at some points in our lives. Okay, that's crazy that I say that and I just missed 2 months of uploading. All right, just we don't talk about that. But there are some people that are just so lazy that they are basically in the running for the competition of the most unemployed man on the globe. And now recently, I've been rewatching a lot of cartoons and I've been seeing clips of them on my reels. Now we gotta start with the biggest bum of all cartoons, Richard Watterson. I have not seen a bigger example of a bum in cartoon shows. Like this dude, his day just consists of sleeping, eating, and more sleeping. And maybe a little bit of TV if he feels like it, and that's it. And now we all got days where we don't do shit, but look, this is his everyday life. This is the life of Richard Watterson. And for those of you that have never seen the show, some of you might be thinking to yourself, why has Richard never tried to get a job? You know, he's got to support the family. But the thing is, he got a job for 1 episode. And when he got a job, the universe almost just exploded. Some things just aren't meant to be. And one of them is Richard having a job. And the whole episode, Nicole was tweaking because, well, she knew something wasn't quite right when Richard was actually employed. And what I find ironic is that this dude, Richard, is one of the faces of the unemployment meme. Yet he's always wearing a tie. Like, what? In one episode, Richard lied about being the CEO of Chanex Inc. He just walked in to get a bag of chips and everyone thought he was the CEO. And when he did become the CEO of Chanex, like the whole place just collapsed on itself. And somehow he replaced everything that was essential for a work building to be quote unquote fun functional. I really don't know how this dude's brain works. But the laziest I have ever seen Richard Watterson is the episode The Laziest. Now, Gumball and Darwin wanted somebody to beat Richard in a lazy off. And they found out that the only person that could do it was Lazy Larry. I figured I gotta give him a little cameo in this video. Now, the lore behind Larry is that this dude works every job in Elmore. But before that, this dude used to sit on the couch and just do nothing. And just to get him to compete against Richard, Gumball and Darwin got him fired from his jobs, wrecked his car, destroyed his marriage, like literally everything possible to try and get him to compete. And at the end, when he just eventually lost everything, this dude sat on the couch and literally became one with the couch. I don't know how the hell that's even possible. And Gumball and Darwin, I think in the end, had to compete against Richard. And at the end of the episode, he gave them the win just so he could trick Nicole acting like he was doing the chores all day. Like at this point, Lazy Larry, I don't even know if he's competing anymore. Maybe not. Maybe Lazy Larry is washed and he is no longer the most unemployed man in Elmore. Okay, number 2, we got Rigby. Now, Rigby went on a character development arc at the end of the show. But however, I think in the first couple of seasons, maybe Rigby was a bum. He never wanted to do anything. In season 2, this dude hired a doppelganger to take his place. He hired this dude named Doug. This dude actually turned into him. He didn't want to do his work that bad to the point where he just sat around and hired somebody else to do everything for him. And he also barely paid him to do it too. Like he just basically gave him pennies because he had to quote unquote cover the finder's fee, whatever that means. They had to end up figuring out who the real Rigby was. That's how alike they ended up becoming. And another episode I remember, Rigby got this thing in the room. It was called a wall buddy because he didn't want to pick up all his trash. And that shit was a heaping pile of garbage. I really don't know how he lives like that, bro. That's crazy. And he got a wall buddy thing that literally separated him and Mordecai in the room and tried to move the trash to Mordecai's side because he wanted Mordecai to clean it. Like at this point, you could have just cleaned it. Like it would have been easier if you cleaned your own garbage instead of getting the wall buddy. Like it's crazy how much Rigby would do to get around getting his work done when it would have just been easier to get his work done in the first place. And even Mordecai sometimes, dude, they were both doing anything but their actual job. It was crazy. One episode, Benson hired 2 new employees that kind of looked like a scrapped version of Mordecai and Rigby. And now these dudes get their jobs done really easily and Mordecai and Rigby are trying to mess it up for them. Eventually, these guys, Chad and Jeremy, end up quitting because Mordecai and Rigby just it up so bad. And in the end, Benson had to rehire Mordecai and Rigby. He had nobody else to clean the boats or whatever the hell they were doing. And all they had to do to avoid this shit from happening was to actually do their job. And I really don't know how they avoided getting fired throughout the entire show. Like they have done so much damage to the park, the house, like just literally everything. But next we got Cyborg and Beast Boy from Teen Titans Go. Now I watched Teen Titans Go as a kid, found it funny as a kid, but obviously nowadays looking back on on it, I feel like the episodes were just hit or miss for me. Some of them were funny, but some of them not really. But I had to include it because what is this show even about, bro? One episode, Cyborg and Beast Boy cloned themselves because they were so lazy. They didn't even want to do anything for like 2 weeks. They kept cloning themselves, and there were clones of Cyborg and Beast Boy all over the tower. But for that entire period, they just kept eating pizza and gaming the whole time. And the other Titans didn't even know. So by the end of the episode, yeah, you could just imagine they let themselves go. There was piles and piles of pizza boxes in their room. You could see the flies buzzing around them. Like, this literally speaks unemployment. Now, don't get me wrong. We all got days where we do pretty much nothing, but I don't know how people live like this on a daily basis. I just don't understand it. A lot of the episodes are just random side quests. Beast Boy in one episode got a job at a pie place, and then Cyborg saw a little pie springy thing on his head and was just laughing his ass off. Like, that's really how it is when your friends roast you for having a job. Like, genuinely. Like, I saw this clip on Instagram Reels, and that's what I knew. I had to include them in the video. And this show was literally anything but fighting crime. This is why a lot of people hated Teen Titans Go. And I do feel like it was a downgrade from the original, but some episodes were okay. Like, it wasn't the worst show in the world or anything. Now we got Patrick. I'm sure a lot of you were expecting Patrick to be in this video. The one time Patrick got a job at the Krusty Krab, this dude was using a broom upside down. How do you even mess that up, bro? I don't know. I guess that whole episode, SpongeBob was trying to teach him how to work at the Krusty Krab. And when he picked up the phone, somebody asked if it was the Krusty Krab. But this dude kept insisting that it was Patrick. He tried delivering orders to the tables too, and he just kept eating the food. And I think the whole reason why he wanted a job is because SpongeBob had so many trophies and he wanted one. And by the end of the episode, he got a trophy in the mail. And I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what this trophy was. What would Patrick Star get an award for? Doing absolutely nothing. Like, this dude has to at least be top 5 lazy characters. There's no way. There is a whole meme where Patrick's to-do list literally says nothing. And for whatever reason, he had to write that shit down. He had to remember that he had nothing to do, like always. I mean, I guess at least he tried? I don't know. But Patrick is always spawn camping under the rock just watching TV. That is the average day of Patrick Star. Now we got Garfield. All right, he's got to be in the top 3. Like, this dude literally does nothing besides eat lasagna and watch TV. Garfield has got to be on this list. He was lazy about everything else except food. He would literally do anything to get food. And his entire slogan is also hating Mondays. I don't get why he says that, because his life is not any different on Mondays. Like, this dude doesn't have a job. He just lounges around in the house on Mondays. It's not really any different. Now we got Peter Griffin. There are so many memes about Peter Griffin being lazy. Like, there's one meme where he's just getting carried on a forklift. And then I've been seeing one where it's like Bill Gates dropped out of college too, and it's just Peter Griffin on the couch covered in food stains. And in that episode, Peter literally gets stuck to the couch. Like, how are you so lazy to the point where you get stuck on the couch? That is insane. Like, I'm surprised Richard's ass didn't get stuck on the couch. But guys, don't worry. Bill Gates also dropped out of college too. And I'm also a 65-year-old kid, so just give me time, bro. I don't have to get a job yet, man. It's all good. But this dude Peter was just dead-ass spamming Uber Eats for an entire week, to the point where you could barely even walk in his living room. There was like beer cans all over the floor and shit. His skin just got so sweaty that he just pretty much became one with the couch. And I cannot forget that one episode where he ran his own food truck because Lois wanted him to eat healthy. I don't know what kind of contraption he was serving, but literally by the end of the episode, Peter had to be carried out of the food truck via crane. He was just staying in there for days on end, just eating whatever slop he was serving. And then in season 3, episode 10, Peter lost his job, so he decided to just sit on the couch for 2 weeks and just eat chips or something. And it was to the point where Brian had to drive him around on a forklift for him to go on a walk. And when Brian was taking him outside, he couldn't even fit through the door. But getting stuck to the couch like that, yeah, he is going at the number 2 spot, bro. That's crazy. Eric Cartman. I don't think I've ever seen somebody more spoiled in my entire life. This dude's mom will literally give him anything he asks for. And all he has to do is really just sit on the couch and cry when he doesn't get his way. Cannot forget that episode where him, Stan, Kenny, and Kyle were playing World of Warcraft. His mom ran downstairs just so he could shit in a bucket. I've never seen that much dedication towards a game. And look at the meals his mom is cooking him up. Like, fucking 5 pancakes with powdered donuts surrounding them. Like, no wonder why this dude gets cooked for being a plate cleaner. It just makes sense. I think this happened literally in the second episode. This dude bought a product that thought would get him in shape, and it was called the Weight Gain 4000. This dude really thought he had to bulk. Nah, dude, you gotta go on the cut of the century right now. I don't know why he thought a product called Weight Gain 4000 would help him cut weight. Like, you gotta exercise to lose the weight. Like, bro, there is no shortcut to exercising. And all he had to do to get it was he had to just cry on the couch and just make, I don't even know, some kind of squealing noise. And then his mom was like, all right, I'll go to the store tonight instead of tomorrow. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it really wasn't that big of a deal. But what's crazy is that when Eric sets his mind to something, oh, he will be super dedicated. He'll do it. The amount of times he wanted to get revenge on people. And of course, after Eric ate the Weight Gain 4000 or whatever it was, you can just imagine what happened. Snorlax. I think all he does is sleep. Like, I don't really think he does anything else. Like, in the games, you gotta move his ass out of the way when he's blocking, I forget what city, but I've never seen a creature so dedicated to sleeping in my entire life. And the only time he wakes up is to eat something. That's it. So we just had to put him on here. Like, the moment I think lazy characters, I think of Snorlax. But if you enjoyed this video, you will like this one right here about the most annoying side characters. Just click on it.